Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly video for the 27th of June at the end of the month here in 2023. We have a rally. We got a 1% gainer in the S&P. We have a 1.5 in the Nasdaq and a 1.3 in the Russell. That's your small cap index. That's your techs, and that's right in the middle. The Dow only was up 0.5% today. Outside of that, crude was down 2%. And the bond market down just a little bit. What's going on in the bigger market and what's ahead this week? And which sector continues to make big new 52-week highs? Let's get started. On the big perspective, the S&P is doing a little bounce rally off of the 20-day exponential moving average, which is just a little buy point in an uptrend. So could this be the beginning of a rally up to the highs? Possibly. We'll be watching that in this week and next. Nonetheless, for me, we were under the value area extreme on the short-term volume profile, and that set the buy position up from, roughly speaking, 4,375, and we're into those targets. So I'll be watching carefully to see if we are able to get a little bit higher on the equity market, and seeing the same thing play out on the Nasdaq and the Russell. That's a little short perspective. But on the Nasdaq, it's doing something similar, which is a buy the dip or buy the pullback. That's actually the first pullback we've had since May to that rising 20-day moving average. And that just shows how strong the market is. It can't even pull back to its 20-day moving average. Nothing special about the moving averages at all. They're just a little spot to think about mean reversion. And if you see a market, let's take the Russell for example, moving averages are the middle. That's where the market's moving. So if you have a trading range, you have a better shot to trade the extremes. That would be shorting up against the high and longing or buying up against the low. And the midpoint, think of that like a little probability distribution that's tilted on its side, with the middle being the mean, and the mean reversion being from short from above toward the middle and long from beneath toward the middle. We don't have that in a trending environment. And the Nasdaq is the most trendy because of the AI, artificial intelligence bubble, if you will. And the mean, therefore, becomes the moving average. What are we looking at here? Strong get stronger and dips tend to get bought. But also, if you go the other way, which is down, rips tend to get sold. So a market going down has its moving average as about the midpoint. And that's a little bit of a down distribution. Again, the midpoint just being the middle. All it is a slanted sideways trading range. That's a downtrend. And when things go up, that's an uptrend. So we are seeing some of the leading stocks in our scan make new 52-week highs, the largest or strongest of them being Apple. Apple is just shy of that $3 trillion market cap. But in today's session, it made a fresh new, we'll pull it up here, 52-week high. And those are the buy points in a strong stock getting stronger. And some of the other stocks are on a little potential bounce off its rising average. Meta, Facebook, not today's session, but fell a little bit shy, $1 or $2, shy of a brand new 52-week high. So you'd be seeing Facebook up in this list if it had pushed up just one more dollar or so. Nevertheless, let's take a quick peek at some of the sectors and stocks that continue to make these 52-week highs. And we'll sort them by market cap. Eli Lilly, Lowe's, Applied Materials, TJX, TJ Maxx, Consumer Discretionary, and we're looking at others, Lam Research, and some you may or may not be familiar with. But what I'm looking at is two things. When I do the scan, I want to see which stocks are strongest of largest market cap, and those are stocks that are probably going to be tradable in the S&P 100. And beside that, I do want to see how many stocks in the S&P 500 made fresh new 52-week highs. Right now, 45 or about 10% of the S&P is pushing to new 52-week highs. Another thing I want to look at is your sectors. So I want to see insights if there are any commonalities or similarities in stocks in a particular sector, and we do have that. Industrials may or may not be a sector, XLI, that you're watching here at TheoTrade or trading on a daily basis. Nevertheless, these stocks are up there making 52-week highs, and there's a lot of them in the industrial sector. In fact, most of the stocks, surprisingly, and that's when I run this scan because I have no preconceived notions, just let the data instruct me, and it's the industrials, XLI. Not enough time to take a look at each of them in tonight's video, but are seeing not the same picture as the XLK, which is just straight up. But industrials are more ranging, but they're getting up to those highs as well. So industrials, not really part of this AI, artificial intelligence bubble, are pushing up, and lots of stocks in that sector are joining or exceeding the index. And just some of them, taking a quick peek at some of the largest market caps, we'll look at TDG, TransDigm, look at Masco, MAS, and the list goes on, just randomly looking. PACCAR, PCAR, and Fastenal, FAST, and anything else that we can take a look at quickly. Copart, CPRT, and there you're getting that significant or that familiar strong stock get stronger. Just looking at some of those. Anything else on this list grab our attention? Yes. Not a lot of consumer discretionary stocks. Staples, only one. Church and Dwight. Healthcare stocks, one. Financial, Marsh and McLennan. And of course, information technology, Pan Alto, Applied Materials, and Apple. I want to highlight one sector that I've had my eye on and has been a little bit perplexing. But nonetheless, the stocks are in the list. They are strong and they're getting stronger, and they are from the home builders. DR Horton, Lennar, Pulte, just to name a few. Those are strong stocks getting stronger. And there's Royal Caribbean. Some of the airline stocks as well joined 52-week highs. There's Delta, and there's United. And again, that's an environment where interest rates are rising, but oil prices, that makes sense for airlines, is going down. A quick look at these stocks, just from a scanning perspective of strong get stronger. There's the airline. There's Delta. We had some pretty big burst to the upside in some, maybe not leading stocks, but some stocks that you might not be familiar with. Not that you don't know Delta or United, but they are getting some good gains, up about 5% in today's session. But to me, it's the focus on the home builders, HXB for home builders. And that again is a sector that is getting stronger, and individual stocks in the sector are getting stronger. Home builders as a collective group, and if we want to take a look at which stocks will comprise the home builder index, we'll just go here to the Analyze tab. HXB is going to be our materials, and we can see that there's a good little distribution of home builder stocks. Strangely, Lowe's or some of the others, Home Depot, maybe not strangely, that's the build and the lumber and all the supplies from those large companies. But things like Lennar or Pulte or DHI would be in our list. So those are some of the things we'll see. There's DHI, which is, we're looking at this, and we'll see Lennar. So we have Danaher, that's Lennar, LEN, is up about 4% in today's sessions, and Pulte, PHM, Pulte, up about 3.5%. That's some pretty stellar upside action. Strong gets stronger, good sector, good stocks. Fundamentals, can always take a peek at where the fundamentals are. Similarly, by looking at the Analyze tab. So maybe not the best, but they are in there with some good and improving fundamentals. Be careful on the short side of strong fundamental stocks and strong chart stocks or strong trend stocks. These are showing relative strength to the market, and they are likely to get even stronger. As opposed to weak stocks, are there any stocks making 52-week lows? Let's just take a quick look at those when the market was up today and how you would do that. or look at the 52-week highs. And I like the scan. It's one of my most popular or most common scans that I'll do. And I'll do this almost on a daily basis. So load scan query, go into public. We'll actually see the new yearly lows. But if you want the highs, they're right there. So new yearly lows. I'll take a peek at the S&P 500. I'll do the scan. And only one and only one, made new 52-week lows. Walgreens Boots Alliance. And let's see if there's anything common about Walgreens Boots. Yes, there is. This stock making new 52-week lows has made additional and continual 52-week lows through the better part of 2023. Right there with the similar stock, CVS. So those are weak stocks getting weaker against lots of other strong stocks getting stronger. As always, be careful and safe as we trade the final days of June 2023. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for June 27th, 2023.